Welcome back to 11's Dirt Life. Today I'm going to talk about cleaning the Jeep or cleaning a vehicle. This would apply to any vehicle. And in my case, obviously, it's Jeeps. We have Jeeps. So kind of have this nice little showcase of products here. I got a bunch of stuff in here I'm going to pull out. We're going to talk about my cleaning process, what I use, and then how I go through the steps of all the products that I use, why I use them, that sort of thing. All of this stuff that I use is Chemical Guys. I've been using Chemical Guys for years. Once I found them, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, just kind of stuck with their products. I like their stuff. I've met some of the guys over there. I've been to their spot down in LA, and we picked up a bunch of stuff, and so just kind of have stuck with them. It's been a good product, so I like it. So that's kind of what we're talking about here. There's other companies out there that make good stuff as well, but this is just basically what I use. So, if you know me, you know my Jeep is always clean. Inside the Jeep is always clean. I don't leave anything behind when I get out of my Jeep. Every single time I take everything out with me unless it's something that I'm leaving in there for a specific reason, but I don't have wrappers. I don't have junk in the vehicle. It's always clean inside. The kids don't eat in there really. I don't eat in there. Even though it's an off-road vehicle and it gets muddy and it gets dirty and things like that, I always will clean it every time after I go out. Sometimes like mid-trip, like when I go out to Moab, my Jeep would be at the wash at least a couple times out there to get the dust off, and just I like the vehicle looking clean. I like it looking sharp. I also like to take care of my stuff. I've always been like that. I've always been someone that holds on to things for a long time because I take care of them. We put a lot of money and time and energy into this vehicle and these vehicles, and so I want it to last, and I want it to look nice. I want to take care of it. I also want it to be ready at any time if I needed to go somewhere with it and display it or things like that. So, and I enjoy it. It's kind of weird, but cleaning my Jeep is one of those things where I can kind of be mindless and just get into the detail aspect of it and make it look really nice. So I'm going to run you through my process on, from start to finish, kind of on what I do, what products I use, why I use them, why I like them, and then just kind of go from there. So Chemical Guys, first process for me would be obviously the wash. So I use a pressure washer. I think it's a Sunjo. It's an electronic pressure washer. I ordered it off Amazon a few years ago. Actually, my wife got it for me a few years ago. It works really well. It's got a lot of different attachments. So, hit it with the water, get, as much of the dirt, if you've got grime and debris on there as possible. With a Jeep, a lot of the stuff that you really want to showcase is in suspension and drivetrain and things like that. So I really get underneath there really well, get the axles, get all the shock components and things like that. And I'll kind of get into that here in a minute on why I use some of this stuff and why you need to be careful with some of this stuff. I've had an incident that I'll touch on real quick when we get there. But so first process is going to be the spray wash, and for that I use the Chemical Guys. This is the Honeydew. It's the snow foam. This is like a really thick wash soap, and I put that in the foam can in here. So this hooks up to my pressure washer, and we adjust how much foam we want to spray and how wide we want that spray to be, and it cakes the Jeep in foam. So it is completely white, looks like it's been snowed on, dripping down. So my process is, depending on how dirty it is, if I'm just doing a quick wash, it's throw the foam on there, get the sponge real quick, rub any spots that need to be rubbed off, hose it, off with a pressure washer, just the water, dry it, good to go. If it's super dirty, like I've been out in mud and dirt and whatever, I just want to get a layer of maybe salt. Maybe I was up in the mountains in the snow or out of state in the snow, or just had, salt air on the vehicle. Then I would do the rinse, the snow foam, let it sit, just kind of melt away to a point, and then just pressure wash that without scrubbing it all. Then I would snow foam it one more time, and then hit it with the mitt and get it nice and clean. So Chemical Guys recommends, it's called a 2-bucket system. So you'd have one bucket that you would have would be clean water, one bucket with the foam. So you would, use your foam scrubber, your mitt or your sponge or whatever it is you want to use. And then you would, rinse that in the clean bucket so you're not contaminating or putting debris on the paint and scratching and things like that. I'm not that, particular about it. I know I'm going to have surface scratches. I know I'm going to have some pinstriping from the trails. For me, it's about having it looking as good as possible, and then protecting the paint as much as I can. So I've done that before, but typically I just hit it with the sponge or whatever. So we're going to use snow foam, and then we're going to hit it with the the clean. So then after we dry it is when we get to some of the other components that we have here. So let me open the lid up here. Let's do exterior, and then I'll start getting into what I do on the suspension, and then even some of the stuff on the interior. So I used to use, and I have still use this. My wife loves this. It's called the Speed Wipe. So after we wash it, it's all nice and dry. We hit it with the Speed Wipe. This is a quick spray, gloss, and quick detailer. So this stuff smells really good. It smells like cherry. I would hit all the painted surfaces with something like this. you know, wipe it on with one rag like that gets really soaked and saturated with this, and then you hit it with another to dry. This is also good like if you're in a show or somewhere like that, you can spray this on and do a quick detail. So this is a really good product I've used in the past. I've since switched over after talking to the guys at Chemical Guys to the HydroSpeed. This is a ceramic quick detailer. So those of you that know, ceramic coating is all the rage right now for the paint, to keep the paint lasting long. This is something you can do after every wash. It creates like a rapid beading on the, so I'll notice when I have this on there, the coating, I can tell when it's still on there really good. If the Jeep gets wet or if I spray it, the water beads up all over the place and you can just wipe it away really quick. So not only does it do that, it also really brings out the paint, really brings a nice shine to it. So if your paint's starting to get a little lackluster, you haven't waxed it in a while, this is a good in-between you know, thing to do. So I do this pretty much consistently all the time. I also use the Pink Speed as well. So either one of these products are going to be the same. This one just has some of the ceramic you know, embedded in there. I'm not real sure on all the you know, particulars on how that works, but this is kind of what I recommended, what they recommended me. So I bought the big jug and then I just use it in you know, one of their bottles. So I just fill this up all the time. So we use that a lot. And then now that I have a wrap, a lot of my paint is covered. So I have a half wrap from Proline Wraps, which is cool. They do the kits. If you haven't seen it, I have a video. You can find that video, you know, in my videos on my channel here. But it is half of the Jeep is wrapped basically from the window line down, part of the hood, and then the rest of it is still the paint. So I get to see the paint, and I'll use this on the paint. And then for the wrap, they have a really cool, it's a wrap detailer. So you can see this is just the same sort of deal as you'd have. You'd spray it in. I have it in a spray bottle here in my wrap detailer. And this would work for vinyl wraps. You know, it protects. It also provides a really, really nice shine. Like it makes it look brand new. It's like a gloss enhancer in there. So it also would help prevent fingerprints and things like that from, you know, as we open and close the doors, we get fingerprints. If you have kids, you know that for sure. It also provides UV protection for the wrap itself. So it helps it to last longer. So that's part of the arsenal that we're using for cleaning the Jeep is the UV detailer. And then this I've only used a couple times. This is a ceramic coating for windows. This is really cool. It's pretty expensive. It's an ultra slick ceramic window coating. Where I live, this seemed like a great idea when I bought it, and it is a great idea for a lot of people, but where I live, we live kind of out in the country. We're right on the way up to the mountains and the foothills out here, so we have lots of bugs. Like, I mean, when I mean lots of bugs, I'm saying lots of bugs. So in the spring, summer, you name it, the front of my Jeep is constantly covered in bugs. So to use this every time is kind of not real cost effective. So typically I just use that spray, that white spray foam. I forget the name of it. It's the white and blue bottle, but that stuff works really good. And then I'll use this from time to time to just really get the windows looking like nice and clean. If I was going to have the Jeep, you know, like every once in a while, just bring them back to like super crystal clear. You'd be surprised how dingy your windows look until you put something like this on there. So this is called Hydro View. I don't know if I put that up to the camera or not, but this is a ceramic coating for glass, and it's also cleaner. So it you know, repels water and rain and all that stuff. All the ceramic stuff kind of does that, which is cool. So let's see. I don't know if you can see all this stuff. I can't remember how wide I panned that out. Okay, so that kind of is going to be the exterior like paint and window setup. Now I'm going to kind of get to the undercarriage. So I'm talking like shocks, I'm talking axle, I'm talking frame, even wheels. So my bumpers, my armor, half of my armor, so all my armor originally started off with Steelite coating. So for Steelite, it doesn't respond as well to like a ceramic quick detailer. This stuff, the speed wipe worked better on that, kind of gave it that shine a little bit better. If you have a nice powder coat or a painted finish bumper or things like that, you're going to want to use something like this, or at least that's what worked for me. With my Steelite armor, this was better. I'm sorry, this would be good on the paint or the you know, powder coat. I have painted front and rear color match bumpers now, so I'll start using this on those to give them the same shine that the rest of the paint has. My sliders are Steelite. I typically would use something like the Speed Wipe without the ceramic coating in there for the Steelite, just to get those really, really shining very well. And then so let's just go like frame, right? So your frame gets just weathered over time. It starts to fade and looks kind of gross, and You know, unless you paint it all the time, you know, it starts to just get like that dull. It starts off with that nice black satin finish, brand new off the lot, and then it just, you know, road grime and dust and dirt and debris starts to get it looking a little haggard. So for that, I would use anything like that that you really need to bring back to life. And I have it in this bag because it's kind of leaky, but it's called the Bare Bones Dark Shine Undercarriage Protectant. So this is an oil-based dressing, and you know, it's a kind of repels dirt. It also it'll bring anything back. Like it'll make your, I did this on my wife's Mojave. We hadn't touched her frame since she bought it, and before we went to Moab, it looked like everything was brand new under there. So I use this little like circle applicator. I sprayed in the applicator, I rub it on real good, and then I kind of like wipe it until it like looks like it's evenly distributed. But this stuff will bring any sort of dull paint, like I'm talking frame paint, your axles, your control arms, your brackets, all that stuff. It'll bring it all back to looking brand new. And it'll look new while it's on, and then once it kind of like washes off and whatever, goes back to how it looked before. You know, you're not restoring it to its original glory for, you know, forever. But while that coating is on there and it lasts a long time, typically put it on and wash the Jeep a few times. It stays on. Like I said, it's an oil base, so it kind of repels the water. It doesn't just wash away really easy. So that's a really good tool to have to get, you know, like I said, when I wash my Jeep or I have my Jeep out somewhere and someone's looking at it, they're typically sticking their head in my wheel well, looking at my suspension components and all the stuff that's going on in the axle with, you know, the big axles and the PSC and things like that. So, you know, all that stuff to me is important to have it looking good. So another product that I really recommend and that I use all the time, all over the Jeep, is this no nonsense, just called Nonsense Invisible Super Cleaner. So it's odorless, colorless, and it is a pH balanced neutral cleaning product. So you can use this on anything. I've sprayed this on my seats. You can spray it on interior. You can spray it on almost anything on your vehicle, and it'll clean it. Not create a shine, but it'll get it nice and clean. So this is something I would use on anodize, like coilovers, like the coilover body, the coilover anodize, anything that's anodized. I would use something like this. And so when I did one of the, I think it was the Slim Light ad for KC. I always detail my Jeep. I do everything on my Jeep for the most part. That's how I am. So I detailed the crap out of it because we were shooting the advertisement. I had the Pro 6 Lite, the Slim Light for a few months before it was released, product testing, and we used my JK as the vehicle for that commercial, for that advertisement, right? So I wanted, knowing it was going to be in an ad, you know, for KC, I wanted it to look the best it's ever looked, bring it back. So I detailed the crap out of it, and then I brought it to a professional detail shop that was recommended to me, that had done Jeeps before, to just give it that next level, bring just the stuff that I couldn't get, just really get some of this extra stuff to the next level, like for, you know, like you're filming an advertisement for your vehicle, right? So when I went to pick it up, all of my undercarriage, they used some sort of degreaser or something like that, and the mixture must have been off, and it ate away all of my powder coat on a lot of my components. My shocks, all my blue anodize on my Kings was completely destroyed. This is like the day before I'm supposed to shoot this ad. So needless to say, we didn't get anything fixed before we shot the ad. Everything was panned out, which was fine, but and they took care of everything. They took care of me on that, but that's why I would use something like this on those types of products, right? So this is a pH balance neutral. You can put this on just about anything. You know, like I said, I've sprayed this on my seats, on my cloth seats before, to get them to come back on the interior, things like that. So this is a really good product to have just for, you know, all purpose, whatever you name it. So I have multiple bottles of that. I got like a brand new bottle of that here. I got another bottle over there. So that's always stuff I have. And then another product that's good, so that would be kind of all my exterior type stuff, right? Tires, I don't really touch the tires. I don't like tire shine. I like, you know, the best looking tire to me is right when you get it, it's brand new and it's got that out of the factory black. I'll scrub them really good and wipe them with soap, but other than that, I don't touch my tires. I don't want, you know, shiny tires on an off-road vehicle. So I'll use this on my wheels too. I've got the machined look wheels, so something like this on the machine wheels looks really nice. But tires I don't touch. I don't have a recommendation for product. I would love to have like something that's super, super matte. So if you know of something that's really, really matte, just makes the tire look black, not shiny at all, let me know in the comments. I would actually be appreciative of that. I haven't found anything. I found products that say that they're matte that just don't really make the tire look matte, they make it look shiny, and I don't want a shiny tire. So don't touch the tires. And then as far as the interior is concerned, what I use on the interior is this Total Interior. So this is good for like dash, glass. You can spray this on your navigation screen, all your dash components, like on the door, the door sills, everything. So this would be everything sprayed on the interior. And I have that, in one of their, bottles here. So you just kind of label everything and what it is, which is cool. They have, like what you can use it on, what if it's flammable, stuff like that. I don't do any of that. I just kind of write what it is, blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of interior for the interior. And then, the Jeeps kind of start getting, they lose that new car smell, or, you just have like dirt and debris and food and you name it, and all kinds of stuff in there. Sorry, you can probably hear my garbage man just got here. So I have a couple of sprays that I do to kind of make the interior smell better. For a long time, I was using the new car smell, which I like. I don't know that it is new car-ish, not like, I don't know that you can replicate an actual new car, but it does smell, it's a new odor neutralizer is kind of what it is. So it just makes the car smell clean and fresh and whatever. So I like that one, but recently I found this one. I just kind of wanted to try something different. This is actually my new favorite. I'm probably gonna just stick with this all the time. It's a little bit stronger of a smell. I just kind of hit the carpets and like the back of the cloth seats, all the way around the Jeep, and then let it like marinate, and it'll last for quite some time. But this one's called Rides and Coffee. So this one's my new favorite. They have all kinds of stuff. They have like stripper scent. I don't think they call it stripper scent anymore. Maybe it's dancer scent or something like that. They have like a bunch of different scents that you can use for the inside of your car. So would highly recommend that. And then again, just the bucket here for, for, this is supposed to be a wash bucket, but I actually just keep all my products in here. So kind of a cool little setup here. But that's kind of the long and the short of it on my car detailing process. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. If you have any tips, something maybe I haven't covered, let me know. I don't have like a lot of like tool like brushes, and I just use honestly Costco. The yellow microfiber towels from Costco are my personal favorite. I buy those. I have packages and packages of those. I know Chemical Guys make some really good ones as well. I have some of theirs and I use theirs as well. So I use some of theirs because they're nicer. I use them for some of the nicer, like the paint type stuff. But the thing I like about the Costco towels is you can buy a huge package of them and just use them for whatever, and then just throw them away when you're done. I have them all over the place. Like I keep bags of them in my Jeep just in case. But like wash mitts and stuff like that, I just kind of use whatever. I don't have anything particular for that. I don't use a lot of scrub brushes. Or things like that. So again, here's all the stuff that I use for the Jeep and keeping it clean and keeping it looking sharp. And I highly recommend at least some of these products. Anything you can do to protect the paint. Longevity is going to be something I would look into. I don't like wax my vehicle a lot. I know that's kind of like the wax and the buff and whatever. Those guys do that a lot. But a lot of this paint now and these products now with the ceramic coat, you can have it last for a long time on your own. I do recommend after a certain amount of period, definitely getting that paint addressed and, paint correction and things like that. But, my Jeep's only 2 years old. So right now what I'm doing is working really well. So again, thank you for tuning in as always. And look forward to producing more videos like this stuff, just random stuff that just this morning I was getting ready to leave and I was like, hey, you know what? Let's just talk about all the cleaning supplies that I have. Hopefully this information is useful to people. So thanks again for tuning in.